All of us reach a point in time where we are depleted and need to somehow find a way to reignite the fire within. But how do we spark that flame? Welcome to Reignite Resilience, where we will venture into the heart of the human spirit. We'll discuss the art of reigniting our passion and strategies to stoke our enthusiasm. And now, here are your hosts, Natalie Davis and Pamela Cass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Mm.
So tell us about the event. What can one expect? And we would love to hear all about it. The present day. Yes, let's do present day.
Yeah. So, the reason why I say that it's really unique is that, so you've heard me name drop Goo Goo Dolls and Go-Go's and Bangles and Cheap Trick, but they don't come and do a 35-minute or a 40-minute set. They play with each other. So we form super groups all night. So it's not, yes, of course, they'll play their hit. John Resnick from the Goo Goo Dolls is not going to come and not play Iris. There would be a mutiny if he did. Kurt Smith from Tears for Fears come. He's definitely going to sing Everybody Wants to Rule the World. It's like a law. If they play, they must perform. But the rest of the night, they're doing Beatles covers and Stones covers and Motown and Stax stuff with people. It's literally a bunch of super groups all night. And that's where Butch helps me because he's a music producer and does that. So that's what you can expect. You can expect the lead singer from Fountains of Wayne and the bass player from Eve 6 and the drummer from Cheap Trick with the girls from the Bangles singing a Big Star song or something like that. And that's what the entire night is. It's these FOMO moments for a music fan. These are these moments that are never going to, not going to do the same thing the next night in Des Moines and then the next night in Boulder and then the next night in San Francisco, which also though gives it kind of a bit of a tightrope feel to it too, because think about it. These people, it's not songs they normally play with people they don't normally play with. They come in for, we do 2 shows, Friday and Saturday. They'll come in Wednesday night and we'll rehearse on Thursday and Friday, and that's it. But these people are so good. They can, they speak that musician language. On the third bar, why don't you come in on the second beat and I stand there and go, "Did you speak English?" Because I don't, but they all remember and they all do it. So I think there's lots of reasons why I know people love it and they come back year after year in the audience is because they can see the artists the artists are having a blast, right? Because they're doing, Butch, when he does interviews, describes it as rock camp for rock stars, right? Because they get to, it's like if you went to a fantasy camp, it's for them, right? Because they get to play with people on songs they don't normally, and there's no pressure on them, right? When they're doing a headline show, because all these people do big shows, they got to carry the show. The event itself carries the show. Right. And they're expected to mess up and then everybody laughs and the crowd likes to jeer and cheer at them and all that other stuff. And honestly, the real secret sauce to it is, so we've got the know-it-all boyfriends, right? Butch and all the guys. The first year we had a bunch of the ladies, Tanya Donnelly from Belly, Kay Hanley from Letters to Cleo, the Bangles. As they were walking out that night, said, "You know what? We've got to form the know-it-all girlfriends." So now every year we have a battle of the bands as well between the know-it-all boy and the audience cheers. I know this is going to be hard for you to believe, but the boys never win. Never. Never, ever.
It's shocking.
Yeah. and part of the reason is the guys are always trying to show you their virtuosity, where the girls just do like AC/DC and Quiet Riot. And they're just banging
they're putting
their head.
on a show.
The girls get it.
Yeah.
So, and everybody looks forward to that as well. So we've got a lot of things in there that are once a year, not going to happen again kind of stuff. And the audience feels that, when the boys are out, the girls will come out with signs saying, "Hey, why don't you play a song all of those kind of things." They'll lay down on the amps because they're bored. It's a ton of fun.
Oh my gosh.
And that's what the show is. And you get to see these people as the human beings that they are. You know what I mean? You can see them screwing around or not knowing what to play or laughing or all that kind of stuff. And a lot of these people, if you were going to be 10 feet away from them at a concert, you wouldn't just be paying the $50 you pay in.
No.
Right? You go see the Goo Goo Dolls, who are coming through in a couple weeks. They're playing the big BMO Amphitheater in Milwaukee, which is, tens of thousands of people. You're not going to be 5 feet away from Johnny Resnick for $50 and watch him play Tom Petty songs. So
no, you're not.
Wow.
But going back to the story you asked me, it's because that evolved organically as opposed to here's what we will do. We will have these famous people. If you start out doing that, you stub your toe.
Well, what makes it so cool is that it's a unique experience every show.
That's right.
You never recreate that same experience because it's never been done before, and it
ain't going to happen again.
Yeah. And so, how often do you do these events?
We do it once a year. That's all I can do.
Okay, and it's a full week.
It's a year-round job. I give myself about a week to recover, and then you dig right back in. Wow. And mainly, I wish we could do more, and maybe someday we can. But because I'm not paying anybody, and these are all still working musicians, that's why we do it in January, because usually you're not touring. Usually you're not booking studio time because it's so close to the holidays. So that's really, everybody says, why don't you do it in the summer? It would be much. And I go, I would love to, but everybody's working. And since I'm not paying them, I can't take a paycheck, they're not, Cheap Trick's not going to stop their tour for 4 days. So Rick and Dax can come and play our thing. So we do it once a year, but we do 2 nights, and the nights are different. We have a theme every, the Friday night this year, we're going to do MTV hits. So it's going to be all those fun the kind of off-kilt, like Safety Dance and Video Killed the Radio Star and all those kind of wacky, those fun things. And then Saturday is that kind of world's greatest jukebox thing. But that way I get 2 shows out. Everybody plays the same people both nights. So it saves me a little money, but I would love to be able to do more, but right now, that's about as much as I can do and still stay upright.
And so once a year. And where is it held? Is it in Madison?
It's in Madison, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And we call it Freezing Man is the name of the festival. It's a takeoff on Burning Man.
Love it.
Since we're in Madison, we lean into the cold here in Madison. But the thing I should let you guys know, and everybody that's listening, we live stream it for free. So you can watch it.
Wow.
You can be in Bangalore or Boulder or Buenos Aires. I'm on a bee kick apparently right now.
Yes.
And you can watch it live and be a part of the community, because this isn't, yes, it's about raising money, but there's so much that we need to do about awareness and acceptance.
Absolutely.
And all of those things, especially around a disorder like epilepsy, that our job, yes, it's to raise as much money as we can to give it to the smart people to find treatments and cures. That's why everybody volunteers their time. But it's also about building that community. I recommend coming to Madison because A, we're one of the best towns in America. B, being there to experience it, it's a whole nother level. Certainly watching it on it, but to be there and have these famous musicians so close as part of it is that. But yes, it's that first or second weekend in January, depending on what New Year's does to us, because I don't want people flying in over New Year's weekend, to do that. It's at a really new state-of-the-art theater here called the Sylvie. It was built to be a music theater. It holds 2,500 people, and we fill it 2 nights in a row. And it's a ton of fun.
Oh my gosh, how incredible.
Definitely a stretch from I hope we can cut a check for $500.
Yeah.
Yes.
Come on, long way.
Wouldn't be the first time I got things wrong. But this turned out the right way. So I'm going to be wrong.
Right way.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, other than attending the event, how can our listeners support Joey's song? Are there other ways? Do you do a live fundraiser while it's live streaming, or other ways to contribute throughout the year?
So let's first talk about the ways you can do it without spending any money. There's a bunch of things anybody listening can do. There's 2 big things you can do. The first is the dreaded algorithm on social media. Dun, 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 right? How does stuff pop up on people's feeds? It's follows, not likes, and it's watching the videos. The more you watch even a 30-second video, if you watch 20 seconds of it more than 10, it feeds the magic algorithm. So what your listeners can do is find us on Facebook or Instagram or all the social media. We're Joey Song on all of those things. So if you just find it and follow us, not just like it, but follow the feed. And if it pops up, even if you don't want to watch the video, let it run for the 30 seconds, because then the overlords at Meta say, people like this, show it to more people, right? So that's one thing you can do that doesn't cost you anything more than 25 seconds of your time, is to do that. The second thing people can do for us is talk about this with your friends, neighbors, down at the club, wherever you might be, because we all take personal recommendations, right? If somebody says, hey, you should go see this movie or try this restaurant, you do it, right?
Hey,
so
listen.
if people can, because you never know, see, epilepsy is such a hidden disorder because there's no physical manifestation of it unless somebody has a seizure in front of you. And because when it does manifest itself, it's kind of embarrassing. It shouldn't be, but it is. If you drop to the ground shaking in public. So we need people to talk about this, and you never really know. So we haven't even gone through the stats. 1 in 26 people will develop epilepsy in their lifetime. 1 in 26.
Wow.
50 million people worldwide have epilepsy as of today. So to put those numbers in perspective, if in your neighborhood there are 7 houses, and each house has 4 people living in it, it's going to be 1 person in your neighborhood with epilepsy in just those 7 houses.
Wow.
Or, and I always do this with simple math because I'm a marketing guy, not a math guy. If you're in your local football stadium and there's 26,000 people sitting there when you're in Colorado, so watching the Broncos, 26,000 people, 1,000 of those people are going to have epilepsy. So that tells you, and so I can't tell you the trillions of times I've been talking to people, and after about 3 minutes they go, oh yeah, my cousin has epilepsy. My brother has epilepsy. It's so common, but it's not the kind of thing that you talk about or can see.
Yeah.
So if you tell friends about it, that does it. And to get into the business side of it, and somebody out there is going to know Melinda Gates, and she's going to hear about this, and she's going to want to write us a check for $1 billion to solve this. So, go around and talk about it. So those are the ways that your listeners can help us without spending a lot of time or a lot of money. And that's really, really impactful. I can't express enough how impactful that is to get that social media algorithm on our side. Then the other thing you can do is obviously make a donation or those kind of stuff. So if you go to joeysong.org, so everything's Joey Song. That's the great thing about having a unique name like this is all you got to do is type in Joey Song. You're going to find us, right? Yes. Because there's not, other than Bill Haley had a song, but Bill Haley and the Comets had a song like in 59 that pops up. And there's another mother who has some, but you'll find us.
It's you. Okay. Yes.
And we do, if you'll bear with me for 1 minute, we do all sorts of special auctions. This is a bag full of Vicki Peterson of the Bangles worn clothes from stage and other stuff.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to do special auctions of that soon. Vicki and I got together a couple months ago. We did a video and she tells the story behind it. We do that. Several of our artists are designing their own special Joey Song t-shirts. They do the design with their own why it's important to them or whatever it might be. Butch has done one. Jane Weedland from the Go-Go's. Vicky's done one. So there's lots of ways. We like to do unique things, as you can tell, and there's not another one of all these shirts, and we only make 100 of those artist shirts. So you'll have one of 100, and then it's like a Hummel. We break the mold so they can never do another one after that. And that you can by following us again on the socials or joeysong.org. There's a mailing list and you can find out about all that stuff. But really, to be honest with you guys, if you do the first one, it'll lead to the second one. If you help us spread the word.
Yes.
I know you guys have asked a lot of questions about when did you know and how does it feel and all those things. Yeah. Because people, every time I have these conversations, I get this reaction. I know if we can continue to build our community and it starts to build geometrically, all those donations and dollars are going to come. Right. So honestly, and I mean this sincerely to your listeners, if it's between you sending me $20 or liking and following and telling everyone you know, I'll take the second one because that's gonna really geometrically build.
Yeah.
And we'll get that $20 from. You can certainly send me the $20. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but
Yeah.
that
Snowball.
and I guess the other thing that we didn't talk about besides us being volunteer, all of our money besides that little bit we send to Guatemala goes to research, to epilepsy research. That's what we as a family focus on.
Yeah.
So we're giving the money to the smart people in the lab coats with the test tubes so that one of them can have that voila moment. And again, I show my age by saying Bunsen burners and test tubes because I know it's all done with computers and algorithms, but I can see her in my head. There's a woman in a lab with her hair pulled back and those goggles on that you wore in science class, and she's mixing two test tubes together, and one of them's going to turn lime green like it's supposed to, and she's going to go screaming, I did it, and that's going to stop this from happening, and I will be sure that we bought that test tube.
Exactly.
Nobody will convince me otherwise that we didn't buy that test tube.
Yeah.
So anyway, get me going on this and I don't stop.
Have they made any progress?
Great question. Yes and no.
Okay.
So let's talk about the no first. 1 in 3 people still can't find relief through either medication or surgery, meaning they don't know when the next seizure is going to hit. That number has been pretty consistent for a long time. What they have made progress on is the nasty side effects that have come with it, because you're doing brain medicine, right? You're doing medicine that's affecting how your brain works. And the more refined that can be, the better it is. So that part they have made a lot, and these aren't definitive black and white statements, obviously. There's room around the edges, but as a grand statement, that's where a lot of the progress has been made. The different medications have less of an impact. They don't make them drowsy or groggy or, all those other things. There's been a lot of progress on that. And in some of the cases, again, epilepsy is like cancer. There's not one epilepsy, right?
Yeah,
There's the epilepsies. So there may be some where they've made more progress than others, depending on that. They have made some, and honestly, minimizing the impact of the side effects is really important. That's a quality of life issue, right? If
Absolutely.
every time you take your meds every morning, you don't feel like doing anything all day,
It's an impact.
what's that, right? Maybe there's some people that go, I'd rather have a seizure and be able to do something today. So they have made progress, but we really need to take that 1 in 3 number down. We really need to, because if you're an adult, especially with uncontrolled seizures, you can't drive. There's a lot of because you can't be behind the wheel of a car when a seizure strikes, right? And you can't, that limits the ways you can work. It makes going to buy groceries an issue. It makes just getting around an issue. So we really need to make some progress on that 1 in 3 number, because while I focus particularly on the pediatric epilepsies because of Joe, in general, epilepsy is non-discriminator for age, income, race, religion. It affects everybody. And we need to find ways to take this out of people's lives.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well,
that is just staggering data. So thank you for sharing that, Mike. I think that's an important piece, and the importance of people like truly being intentional about self-care, right? Like taking care of their wellness, and if something feels off, go and check it out.
You bring up a really great point, because and this is something I always try to do whenever I speak to a crowd as well. There is one of the ways that epilepsy manifests itself is in something called absence seizures, which is just staring off into space. That can be a seizure. And especially if you've got kids, and sometimes Billy just stares off into space and I can't get him back. It might just be that Billy's a space cadet. I know I was.
Yes.
But it may be that Billy's got epilepsy, right? And that's why one of the initiatives is training teachers so they know what to recognize. So my point is understanding the ways that it manifests itself and that those absence seizures are the important one, because we all know that person that, I wonder where Mike went for the last 30 seconds. Well, maybe Mike was, Mike was having a seizure kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Take care of it. But Natalie, I wanted to focus also though on one of the things that you said about self-care, because one of the other things I tell people, if you're a caregiver, like we were for Joe, one of the other things to do is take care of yourself too, because that person is reliant. That person that you're giving the care to needs you at the top of your game. And it's real easy to sacrifice your sleep, your health, your exercise, your diet, whatever it might be. And sometimes you have to do that. I'm not saying you never sacrifice, but that person needs you at the top, because you're going to be their advocate with the medical profession. You're going to be their advocate on what's affecting them. So self-care, even if you don't have epilepsy or any other disorder, but are a caregiver to somebody that does, don't shortchange yourself on that, because you're actually shortchanging them if you're not at the top of your game.
Yeah.
So I think that's a great reminder.
Yeah.
That's such a great reminder, Mike. Yes.
Yeah.
Is there a good place for people to go to get resources to educate themselves?
Yes. So there's two different ways that I would take. First of all, there is the Epilepsy Foundation, EFA, and I think it's epilepsy.com is their thing. That is the storage, the warehouse for all the research, and is the first place anybody should go, because they will tell you the local resources, whether they're support groups or awareness programs or whatever else it would be. So that would be your first one. And second of all, find a neurologist, not just your doctor. Doctors are great. General practitioners are great. But after they try to figure out if you have epilepsy, they're going to be taking care of my bad hip. And then after that, they're going to be taking care of my bad hearing. See, you turn 65, you fall apart, kids. That's the other word of warning. A neurologist is focused on the brain, and most of them are well-schooled in epilepsy. Now, depending on where you live, there's not neurologists around every corner. But if you're lucky enough to live in a place like Madison, which has the university, or Boulder, or any of those places, they're usually not too far away. And I would find myself a neurologist. Those are the two things, because GPs are doing their best to understand everything. Neurologists understands at a target of. So Epilepsy Foundation, to find out local programs and resources and those things, and then find yourself a specialist as soon as you can, because that will shorten the time of uncertainty and at least start to get you or your loved one on a path.
Love it.
I think that's perfect. Beautiful. Mike, I want to say thank you. Thank you for the work that you're doing. And I feel that the ripple effect of Joe's life that continues with us all of these years, decades now later, is huge and tremendous. And thank you for answering the call. I think that's the biggest piece, right? Because it's a heavy lift. This is a volunteer. It's an active service that you are bringing together. It takes an entire year to pull off, a 2-day event, and but the impact is long lasting. So thank you for what you're continuing to do.
Thank you.
in
I
Joe's
appreciate
name.
that.
Yeah,
I really do. I really do.
yeah. That is huge. Oh my gosh. We went everywhere, I feel, and in between. Is there anything that we didn't touch on, Mike, that you wanted to make sure that we shared with our listeners today?
No, I don't think so. We talked about the prevalence of epilepsy. We talked about the impact of it. We talked about the progress made. We talked about how cool what we do is, and I'm okay doing that. We talked about how people can help, and how they can help even if they're not in the Midwest or don't want to come and freeze with us. Can't think of anything else. We could do a whole nother hour, and I could tell you really cool behind the scenes rock star stories if you'd like.
Oh, well, that's,
maybe we'll do that when you don't have the record button going. Maybe that's just the three of us and a bottle of wine. So,
that's it. I was like, those are still stories I'd like to hear. I don't know if we need to record them.
Yeah. No, I think we've covered it.
Love it.
For your audience, we really need your emotional and technological support. Your money's great, but if you give us those other two things, the dollars will follow.
Love it.
Absolutely. And we'll make sure that we tag Melinda Gates in our social media posts because she has to hear the message.
Absolutely.
I mean, we talked about her. It only makes sense that we tag her.
Absolutely.
I'm sure that she's sitting on her phone searching hashtags all the time to see if people,
100%. 100%.
Well, and it's so interesting that you mentioned her because I just recently, I think this week or maybe last week, there's the video that went through that goes into all of the organizations that she's been contributing to and making investments in over the last couple of years. And why not? So yes.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, we need to let her know that she needs to be in Madison in January and she needs to bring her checkbook.
Yes. Perfect. I love it.
Love it.
We're putting the call out now and we're collectively thinking about it. So,
absolutely.
Whatever you're doing in January, clear your calendar.
Come on. Freezing. Who wouldn't want to come to an event called Freezing Man?
Freezing Man.
Absolutely.
I was just thinking we're giving everyone ample time to secure a new fur per piece, an article of something.
Buy those hand warmers. If the event is indoors, so it's not like we're having a picnic in January.
No.
I love it. Oh my gosh. Mike,
Beautiful.
This has been wonderful. Thank you. And we are wishing you the best of luck with Joey's song and everything moving forward. We will make sure that we remind our listeners to like and follow and watch. Like spend the few moments to watch it so that the algorithm is entrained to let the powers that be behind the scenes know that we like it and we want to see more of it.
It's insane the impact that can have, but that's the world we're in now.
That's where we are.
I love it.
Everyone's vying for our attention. I get it. That's
a lot of
and
noise.
Why not lead them that way?
A lot of noise. Yeah.
Yes. I love that. Beautiful. We will put Joey's song. It's joeysong.org is the website. We will make sure that we put all of the Joey song information and Mike's information in the show notes. And for any of the social media assets, we're going to make sure that we tag Miss Melinda Gates.
Yes, we will.
And for our listeners, you heard the call. We would love for you to go out, engage with Joey's song content so that you can continue to get them on your friends, family, and loved ones' algorithm so that they can learn more about what Mike is doing here alongside his fabulous volunteer friends, family, and loved ones.
Absolutely.
Shout out to all of them as well, because I know it's a heavy lift. So I want to say kudos to you, the team that you've built, and this program that you've put together. This is absolutely phenomenal. And we are truly honored to have had you on the show, Mike.
Thank you, guys.
And have a fantastic rest of your birthday.
Yeah, well, Julia's already upstairs and Sam's coming home from work in about 30 minutes. So I got the rest of the night with my kids and my wife.
I love it.
Perfect.
Enjoy. And thank you for spending a part of your birthday with us. That's a treat in itself. Yes. I love that. For our listeners, you all know the deal. If you have not subscribed on your favorite streaming platform, go ahead and do so now. And head on over to all of the socials and follow Joey's song as well. Until next time, we will see you all soon.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you for joining us today on the Reignite Resilience podcast. We hope you had some aha moments and learned a few new real-life ideas to fuel the flames of passion. Please subscribe on your favorite streaming platform, like or download your favorite episodes, and of course, share with your friends and family. We look forward to seeing you again next time on Reignite Resilience.
Reignite Resilience family, we are so excited to share with you that the book, The Quiet Gift, A Journey of Self-Worth and Resilience, is now available on audiobook at Amazon. Make sure that you check the link in the show notes so that you can click on that and download a copy of the audiobook. This is an amazing story written by Pam as a part of the Red Journal series and narrated by Kristen Aiken Salata. So we hope you enjoy. Until next time, we'll see you soon.